I want to tell you a story. It's a story as old as philosophy is itself, a story about illusion, awakening, and the cost of truth. This is Plato's Allegory of the Cave, a tale of shadows, light, and the journey towards real understanding. Plato's Allegory has been told for centuries, yet its power lies in its timeless truth. We all live in caves of our own making, and the path to truth is both liberating and terrifying. Today we will explore this journey and explore what it means to return to the cave with a truth that doesn't always fit. So we start in a cave, deep underground, no light, no wind, just stone, shadow, and silence. Inside are prisoners, men and women bound by chains since birth, their necks stiff, their eyes fixed forward. They cannot turn their heads. All they can see is a wall in front of them. Behind them, fire burns, and between the fire and their backs, people pass by, unseen by the prisoners. They carry objects, statues, carvings of animals, tools, symbols. And to the prisoners, these shadows are reality. They're all that they have ever known. The echo of voices bouncing off stone, the flickering of forms dancing off the wall. They give names to the shadows. They assign meaning. They create stories, whole worlds, from silhouettes. They do not know that they are in a cave. They do not know that they are chained. They do not know that what they see is not the world, but a lie. This is not just a story of ignorance. It is a story of comfort in illusion, of identity built on shadows. Now imagine one of them gets free. Maybe someone unfastens their chains, maybe he breaks them himself. Either way, he stands, trembling, confused, unsure of his own legs. He turns his head for the first time, and it hurts. The fire scorches his eyes. The figures walk by, solid, real, three-dimensional. They overwhelm him. He doesn't recognize them. They do not match the shadows that he knew. His world is crumbling. He's angry. Denial grips him. His mind clings to what it used to understand. But something within burns stronger. Something urges him forward, guides him past the fire, through the twisting passageways, upward. The climb feels like a fall into the abyss, and yet still he climbs, always upward, until finally he emerges. Out of the cave into the real world, he takes a deep breath, and then he opens his eyes, but he's blinded. Not metaphorically, but literally. The sunlight is too much. He falls to his knees, covers his eyes. It's overwhelming, but slowly, gradually, his vision adjusts. First he sees the shadows once more, but they move differently now. They're cast by sunlight, not fire. Then he sees reflections in the water, then people, trees, animals, and finally, his eyes meet the sun. Not just a light, but the source of light. Not just warmth, but the origin of all warmth, the giver of life, the bringer of clarity, the symbol of truth itself. And in that moment, he understands. All he knew before were fragments, echoes. He had lived in the realm of illusions, and now he sees the real. Even in the darkness of night, he sees light, the beauty of the moon, the dazzling, glittering stars. But the story doesn't end in the light, because now he remembers the cave. He remembers the others, still chained, still watching shadows, still naming lies, still mistaking fiction for truth. And something inside him stirs, duty, love, responsibility. Because once he too lived in shadows. So he returns back into the darkness. The descent is just as hard, maybe harder, because now the darkness feels heavier, the air feels thinner, the silence feels louder. And when he reaches the cave, he stumbles. His eyes, now used to sunlight, can no longer see in the shadows. He fumbles. He speaks in strange ways. His words don't line up. The others look at him, but they don't see a messenger. They see a madman. They laugh. They say he went up and came back broken. His eyes are ruined. He talks nonsense. He tells them the truth is out there. That these walls, these shadows, this is a prison. But they don't want freedom. They want comfort. So their laughter turns to fear. They say, stay away from the light, or it'll make you mad like him. They reject him, insult him, attack him. And if he presses too hard, threatens the foundation of their fragile world, they will kill him. Because some would rather kill the truth than face it. Some would rather stay blind than see what hurts. Some would rather protect the cave than to walk into the unknown. This is more than just a tale. It is a mirror. We are all at some point prisoners. Some of us are chained by systems, others by fear, trauma, by belief, by ignorance, by comfort. And some of us wake up, see the fire, climb towards the light, and once we have seen it, we can never unsee. But with that sight comes a burden, because truth is not only liberation, it is the gravity of insight, the solitude of awareness. It is a weight of knowing when others still choose the darkness. Still, the courageous ones return, not to rule, not to shame, but to share, to guide, to plant seeds, to be the whisperers that says, there is more, you just have to turn around. So Crazy Talk is a return to the cave. It is a voice that trembles in the dark, trying to describe the sun to people who have never seen it. It is the language of someone who has seen too much, felt too deeply, broken free, and come back with a truth that does not fit into polite conversation. Because truth rarely does. The kind of truth that Crazy Talk speaks is dangerous to the eyes of the cave. It questions the shadows. It peels away ignorance. It dares to ask, what if everything we've been told is a lie? It speaks in fire, in light, in echoes of what the soul remembers, but the mind tries to forget. People call it crazy because it does not follow the prescribed narrative. It is not comfortable. It does not keep you in your seat clapping at the flickering shapes on the wall. But Crazy Talk is not madness. It is clarity in a world that is upside down. It is the language of those who have walked into the unknown, faced the blinding light of truth, and returned, not with arrogance, but with love. And like the freed prisoner, sometimes you stutter. Sometimes the words don't come out right. Sometimes people laugh, walk away, call you broken, delusional, or too much. But you speak anyway. Because the light that you have seen is not just for you, it is for anyone willing to turn around. This is a revelation of the soul, a refusal to live in silence, a whisper, a roar, a story that says, I was there, I saw the shadows. I broke free and I came back, not to save you, but to show you that you too can save yourself. So that's Crazy Talk, and that's why it matters. Because once you've seen the truth, not an opinion, not a belief, but that deep, bone-aching knowing, you cannot go back to pretending. You can sit in silence, sure. You can nod along with the shadows dance, but inside, a fire burns that wasn't lit by the cave. And that fire demands a voice, because there are others, still chained, still silent, still waiting for someone, anyone, to say the thing that everyone is afraid to say. To point to the wall and whisper, none of this is real. And if your voice shakes, let it. If your words come out crooked, speak them anyway. If they mock you, ignore you, exile you, walk on, because you're not alone. There are others who have seen the sun, others who have returned, and though each one feels like a lone spark in the dark, together we are a wildfire. This is Crazy Talk, not noise, not madness, but the sound of awakening. Not an escape from reality, but a path back to it. So speak, even if your voice breaks, even if your truth is met with silence, because truth does not depend on agreement, and your relationship to it, your integrity, is revealed by what you are willing to risk to speak it. And if they call you crazy, good. That means you're doing it right. Welcome to Crazy Talk. This is only the beginning.